Pinkalicious Fishtastic. I felt a tug on my line. Peter and I were fishing. I caught something, I cheered. I reeled in my line. Get ready, I told Peter. Here comes the prettiest, pinkest fish in the... I stopped short. Something was on my line, but it wasn't pretty and it wasn't a fish. Ha ha ha, Peter laughed. You caught an old boot. Where are the fish? I asked. Then I felt a tug. This is it, I said. My Pinkalicious catch. I reeled in a shell. Suddenly, Peter's rod wiggled. I got something, he said. Peter pulled out a big fish. It had big eyes, crooked teeth, and sharp fins. Wow, Peter said. What an odd fish. He held the fish up to my face. I caught the best fish ever, Peter said. I jumped away. Ew, I said. More like the ugliest fish ever. At least I caught a fish, Peter bragged. That is not a fish, I said. It's a monster. A monster fish, Peter said. Cool. He put the fish in a bucket of water. I'm going to take him home as a pet, he said. We peeked inside the bucket. The monster fish's mouth was open. I think he's hungry, Peter said. He dumped the rest of our bait into the bucket. Hey, I yelled. How am I going to catch a Pinkalicious fish without bait? Oops, said Peter. Peter went to get more bait. I was alone with the monster fish. Yuck, I said. The monster fish looked up. His eyes met mine. They were huge. They also looked a little sad. I looked at the big ocean. I looked at the small bucket. You don't like it in that tiny bucket, do you? I asked the fish. The fish bumped into the side of the bucket. He made a splash with his tail. Poor fishy, I said. I bet you want to go home. I'll help you, I said. I put the monster fish back into the ocean. Peter came running over. My monster fish, he yelled. What happened? Before I could respond, we heard a loud splash. The monster fish was diving through the waves. He looks happy now, I said. I guess he does, Peter said. Suddenly, the fish blew some bubbles. It made a beautiful noise. It sounds like singing, I said. The bubbly water droplets made an amazing melody. Wish, whoosh, fizz, tink, tink, ting. The tune was so pretty. We couldn't help but hum along. A dolphin and a school of pink fish swam over. So did a family of sea stars. They love his song as much as we do, said Peter. More fish gathered to listen. They flapped and splashed their fins to the music. I watched the monster fish. He didn't look so ugly anymore. I barely noticed his sharp fins or his big eyes. Your fish isn't beautiful because of how he looks, I told Peter. He's beautiful because of how he sounds. The monster fish spewed a fountain of water and sang a final note. Then he jumped out of the ocean straight toward me. The monster fish gave me a big, wet kiss. I laughed. You're quite welcome, I said. You might not be pink-a-pretty, I told the fish, but you are magnificent.